Every video we click on, everything we listen to, we're looking for something. We're trying to feel something or find something. And I mean, that's what life is. Life is about finding what you want and getting more of what you want. You know, that's why we chase after relationships and this thing or that thing, or we meditate, or we go to the gym, or we're doing all of these things in order to fulfill certain human needs and desires, you know. And underneath all of these things, you know, I'm 31 years old. I've really had a expansive life over the last 11 years. I mean, I can't tell you all the things that I've got myself into, you know, from all these different churches, all these different jails, all these different companies and businesses and people that I've worked for and things that I've built, and, you know, and all the people that I've interviewed and sat down with. You know, I've been an in-home sales consultant, so I've sat down and had real deep, long conversations with hundreds of families, you know, and real deep, long conversations with hundreds of people in the interview room. You know, I'm real interested in how people work and why they do what they do, because, I mean, I've felt a lot of pain in my life, and I've hit a lot of walls and had a lot of crazy, horrible things happen to me. Wakes you up, right? Every time a breakup occurs, you know, unless you want to repeat that same kind of relationship again, which many people will tend to do in many ways, you got to think. You got to look at yourself in the mirror and think, okay, what the fuck am I doing? What did I do wrong here? Why didn't this turn out how I wanted it to turn out? You know, why didn't I get what I want? Because what you want is a happy, healthy, beautiful, sexual, romantic, amazing, thrilling adventure of a relationship, right? I mean, I'm sure you don't want it to be boring or resentful or cold and callous and spiteful, like many will end up. That's what life's about, getting what you want. But underneath all these things, the body, the riches, the cars, the clothes, the women, the men, whatever floats your boat, man. What's underneath everything is patterns, you know, and that's what the human mind is for. The human mind is, it has an ability to connect dots in the world, to be able to synthesize new experiences into wisdom, to be able to better construct your future, better plan your future, but even, I mean, really better plan your future down to just your day-to-day scenarios, your day-to-day conversations. I mean, the first time you ever talked to somebody, you would be, what, a few years old? You were horrible, absolutely horrible at talking, right? 18 years old, you might have still been very bad at conversation. You know, that's why when you talk to someone that's 70 years old and still is right there in their mind, if you sit down and listen to them, you know, especially if they have more energy and physical energy than not, because that's just exciting to listen to, they're very interesting. They have real stories, you know, and they're wiser than you'd think. They might not be as exciting and you know, as us young people, but the older people get, the wiser they tend to become. That's why, you know, most cultures, except for the Western culture now, elders are admired, looked up to, respected, you know, because the longer you live, the more wiser you at least should be able to become, as long as you stay a student and stay someone learning, someone accountable, you know, someone responsible. But patterns. Old people, you know, young people tend to be jealous of them because, you know, we're paying XYZ for rent and and man, they got all this money. It's like, well, it takes a long time to compound your money and finances, a long time to build wealth. That's why the most powerful people in the world, how old are they? 70, 80, 85, you know, 90 something. Because they had so much time, so much experience and compounded wisdom over and over that builds on itself exponentially. And then on top of that, connections, and then being able to multiply your wealth and investments and building equity in properties or companies and all these things, right? But what's underneath all of that? Besides time, it's patterns, the ability to recognize patterns that you see throughout your experience in life and be able to replicate those, you know? So as a micro example, say your first argument ever with a friend is probably going to end up extremely immature and stupid and dramatic, right? Like, remember when you used to fight with your friends at 12, 13, 14, and you maybe post on social media or you text them behind their back and talk shit to their friends about them and have this whole dramatic little thing. But over time, you realize that's not really an effective pattern. It doesn't really help you. It kind of makes things worse. You're kind of focusing on the negative. It's making a small thing into a bigger thing. So what happens over time? You get better, subconsciously at recognizing, okay, it's like each conversation you have, you're learning a little bit more. Each time you fail, which is what you're going to do in conversations, you're going to say something or rub them the wrong way. You're going to say something, they don't laugh at it. You're going to say something, it's like people are training each other in real time. Life itself is training us in real time. And if you want to get what you want, which is what life is actually all about, it takes a person with their eyes wide open that understands that life is about learning. Life is about recognizing the patterns, and life is about taking advantage of successful patterns in order to imitate and adopt success in our many life categories. If you want to become successful in business, you should most likely listen to people that are very successful in business. Absorb what they know. If your mom's been a stay-at-home mom her entire life, hasn't worked a job since she's been 25, would you talk to her into in-depth conversations about how to start a business and how to make money and financial savviness? No. But you very well might as well talk to her about how to be maybe a wonderful mother, how to deal with relationship problems with a man if you're a girl, right? How to stay married for so long, like how to be happy. Who knows? Whatever she's good at, that's what you'd take the most. That's what you would tend to at least want to take advice from. And I think today we want things in the back of our minds. We have these desires innate to us. They're like whispers in the back of our soul calling at us, but many times we can use this little device and distract ourselves throughout the day, throughout all the little moments of each day, and just wake up, go to work, do the bare minimum, or do good at work, whatever it may be, and then go home and just rinse and repeat, and then before you know it, 4 years have passed, 7 years have passed, 15 years have passed, and you're like, what the hell am I doing? Just maybe kind of moving from place to place, just somewhat unsatisfied, just this company, this job, this place, that relationship, this relationship. But the key difference between those that do actually get and succeed with what they want and keep what they want, they are men and women that they decided what they wanted, because you can't really know what you want unless you explore the world, right? But you have to do that with your eyes open, searching for what you want, searching for the next level for you, staying conscious. Most people are kind of zombies out here. You walk in Walmart, you just strike up a couple conversations, listen to some conversations. People are drones, man. They're just fucking zombies. Like NPCs in a video game. They're just waiting to die. They just go to the thing and get their beer and go home and cut on the show, and that's it. Some of those people are actually very happy, by the way. They don't need much. I'm kind of jealous in many ways, but if you're watching this, if you're watching a person like me, I very highly doubt that's you. I highly doubt that's you. You are looking for things. You're looking for more. You want to grow, which I think is a human need that should be exercised in all of us. I think people that stop growing once they turn 12 or 15 or whatever it may be, I think they're completely missing out on what the human experience can feel like and actually be like. And the right human experience is where you are the captain of your ship. You are searching for your treasure. You are searching for the island that you want to settle your family on. You are looking for the good life. Because if you're not, you're just going to settle in some strange groove and live some mediocre life. And, or end up in a mundane, kind of bad life you complain about a lot. Maybe that's just a lack of gratitude and appreciation. Many times is. But you might very well slip into just a shitty life. It's very easy to. We live in a very comfortable world with a lot of options, and a lot of distraction, more stimulation and distraction than we've ever had in all of human history, times maybe 1,000. I mean, imagine 10,000 years ago, you would be focused on people, building things, building tools, survival, enjoying life directly out in nature. Now, you can get plugged in, just strap in, slap your iPhone over your face, chain it to your soul, and let it suck your heart out every day. Look at your screen time, for example. How many hours is on it? 20, 30, 40, 50? How many hours is that? When you're on your deathbed, when anyone's on their deathbed, are we going to sit back and just think, God, man, I really am going to miss my phone. The memories, the people, nothing was better than Apple. God, I wish I could go back and live it over and over. I wish I could stay on my feet for the rest of eternity. I never want to leave this place. I never want to leave my screen. Who the fuck is going to say that? No one on the earth. So why do we spend so much time? Excuse me. If you're all on the podcast, listening to audio, just drinking it. My 6 raw egg green smoothie here. And that's a pattern that I've recognized is good for me and what I want. What I want in the mornings, I want to wake up with tons of energy. I want to drink something very quick that gets all my possible nutrition I need. That sounds cheesy, but what's nutrition? Fuel. If you're honestly, if you're a lady listening to this, God, you probably want to roll your eyes. Food is fuel. That's such a guy thing. But a lot of people don't know what they're missing. A lot of people don't realize that if you wake up, eat a bacon, egg, and cheese, or eat nothing, some people can get away with eating nothing. It's rare. And have great energy and mental fortitude and low anxiety each day. But most human beings need to eat something in the morning. You're missing out on a pattern to find energy, clarity, focus, confidence, determination. I've been drinking this since I started in business. I just found myself, I realized that, wow, to succeed in business, mother of God, I need total energy and clarity all the time. I can't have brain fog. I can't have a high anxiety day. I can't be sluggish. I need something. So that's why I drink this, by the way. So it's a little pattern, right? And I recognized that is what extremely successful people do. They have extremely nutritious breakfasts. But back to what I'm saying about patterns in life. I might have lost my place, actually. I'm not editing anything anymore, by the way. This is straight shooting from the hip. But I want to share things with you because we don't come with an instruction manual, right? I mean, we have the Bible, we have religious texts, we have a lot of deep wisdom, but when it comes to the practical aspects of life and how to get ahead in this very new, large, complicated world, there's not exactly a place to go to. I had to read 300 books and listen to all of these super successful people in all the categories I want. Health, wealth, love, happiness, right? as Ty Lopez would say, a guy I used to listen to. Um, you know, life is about getting what you want. To get what you want, you have to discover and listen for and watch for what you want. And to get what you want, you have to go down a path to get it. The path, you're going to have your own experience. You're going to have to take action on a daily basis to learn on your own to get there. But you're going to have to make use of other people, make use of better environments, get inside better companies, get inside better friend groups that will help you along your way. People along your journey, they're people to learn from because they're in their own patterns, right? We're all little bots on loops, successful loops and unsuccessful loops. If you come across someone that's really actually happy, isn't some overly optimistic, idealistic, naive child, but someone that's actually happy and peaceful, you can ask them why they're like that. What makes them tick? What's the difference? What do they focus on? What do they think of when they wake up in the morning? They're usually focused on what they have to look forward to. They're focused on how good their coffee is going to taste. And then they really appreciate and focus on the taste of the coffee. They aren't focused on problems. They do to tackle problems, as necessary, but usually they're focused on solutions. They're focused on enjoying the solutions to problems that they have. And all of us have problems. Not having enough money is a problem. Not getting your work, like a work you have to do that day, your task list. These are problems, challenges that have to be solved. So a lot of us can tend to focus on, got to do all these freaking problems today. I got to do this whole this whole 11 task list. God, I'm so busy. What's that doing? What's that doing to you in your mind? It's dragging you down. Because what are you focusing on? You're focusing on the downsides, the pain, instead of the pleasure, instead of the excitement, instead of the joy that you're going to get when things are done, instead of looking for the good in each moment while you're on this work journey or whatever you're doing, right? But that's something to know about life. Life's about recognizing the patterns. I know I've said that 40 times, but I hope you understand it by now. And how to find the patterns is, yes, your own experience. Two, like I mentioned, getting around people that have already mastered the pattern, that are already good at the pattern. You'll learn from them just by being around them. We absorb energy and thoughts and ideas of who we're around in real time. Most people that are trapped in their life, it's because they're choosing to stay shackled to other people around them that are unintentionally holding them back. People that are actually extremely successful out here in the world, and maybe even extremely successful in just a relationship perspective, say if you're not looking for career success, you want to have a good, happy life. You want to have a good, happy family. How do you build that? You're going to have to be around good, happy families in order to know and be conditioned and absorb the energy and thoughts and actions it takes to create that happy family. For example, if you have this happy, nice family, you got a 4-year-old, 8-year-old, 12-year-old, husband, wife, whatever it might be. And you get into, say, a school system where the general populace is pretty negative. You meet families and they're kind of standoffish. They're kind of mean, How's that going to affect you? How's it going to affect your family? You're at these PTA meetings. You're trying to make friends. You're dropping your kid off with the parents of the other family. Your kids are going to be absorbing this emotional conditioning from the other kids that have learned from their parents. Then there's genetics at play too. Whew. you're going to warp your whole family up, you know? So if you want to get somewhere, if you want to find the right patterns, get around the right people. Lose the baggage. It's the only way. Every hyper successful person that I know in any category, they have had to drop people over and over in their life. They had to break away. You know, they had a, what would you say? It's like plants, for an example. Pruning. What's pruning? If you're like a botanist or herbologist or gardener freaking person, the plant can't keep growing, and certain plants, many plants, unless you actually prune them. You have to cut off the dead wood, cut off the dead leaves to keep the plant healthy and to keep it growing so it doesn't die. You know, we like to talk about all these wildfires occurring today, global warming, yada, yada. When people don't realize that forests automatically burn down, they have to burn down. It's very common. You know, it depends on what part of the world you're in and the type of tree, but there are many trees that will not spread their seeds and pollinate the area and grow more trees unless the tree gets hot enough from a fire. Wildfires are actually supposed to be set in place, controlled, right? That's what humans need to do for themselves. Set the fire, prune the branches, cut off the dead limbs so you can grow. Otherwise, you stay stifled and you're just sitting there, just suffocating away. Can't grow beyond your current environment. You can't break away, you know? So if you want the good life, search for it. Find the patterns that will get you there. I should have said this point earlier. I want you to know that you're a human being, and humans are capable of unbelievable things. I mean, we've been to the fucking moon. We just created artificial intelligence in the last few years. Things are moving. You can talk to a person across the world with only milliseconds of delay from a little weird metal and glass electrical box that's rechargeable with this moving picture screen thing through a satellite in space. We got planes. We can fly. Humans did this. These aren't genius people, right? People of all types built these companies and all played a part in the roles that move civilization in a different direction. So for your own life, your life has direction. Might be directionless now, but it's up to you and I to choose our direction. We are the captains of our ship, whether we know it or not. Some people do not like to know, and they can't consciously take in the fact that they are the captain of their ship. Because what does that mean? It means it's kind of scary. It means you're in control. It means if you take that into account, it means there's now pressure. Time is also ticking. I'm going to die one day, and this is actually my life, and I can control the whole thing. It's like too much possibility. So most people stay asleep at the wheel. They let other people drive their car, drive their boat. Other people are the captains of their life. They're just reacting to reality. Just let the waves slosh them along. Just let the captain scream at them all day. They just show up, collect the paycheck, and quietly, desperately go back into their hole to watch their little Netflix, drink their little Bud Light. But that's not you, because a person like that wouldn't be here listening to this. So remember that. You're different. And you're a human. You can adapt. We are adaptable machines. We have brains with more neurons than all the stars in the galaxy. And our mind has been created to recognize patterns, to absorb information and energy in order to get what we want. And by the way, to make that settle in a little bit, what most people want is to be comfortable. They're not aware of their wants. It's kind of implicit. It's unconscious. It's underneath. But everyone wants things. Everyone has goals in every moment. Goals just to survive and get by. Goals to just seek pleasure and avoid pain. We have these implicit needs and desires. Most people aren't aware of them, you know. So that would be, I think, all of our first step each day is, what direction are we on? Where do we want to go today? How do we want today to play out? Because what is a year? A bunch of days. What's a life? A bunch of days. So if you could control your day, seize the day, right? Thundered. I'm about to drive down to West Palm Beach right now. I am sick of the rain here in Savannah, Georgia. And I've only been here for business, by the way. I would not recommend moving here unless you really just want a peaceful, cute place to settle down and drink tea and biscuits at. But I got new things coming, new announcements coming. And but remember, just like I woke up at 4 today, just inspired to break some patterns, get in some new environments, and go meet some new people and explore some new business opportunities as well down in West Palm Beach, up to Jupiter. I'm going to be driving around those areas the next few days, but follow your dreams. Let the whispers take you where you want them to go. Listen to your gut, your intuition. That's your soul calling you to do things. It's calling you to take steps down your best path, your destiny. You know, when you have this urge to say something to your partner or to text a friend or to make a move somewhere, you know, watch those feelings. Vet them. Don't be impulsive. Impulsive is different. You know, don't listen to your gratifying urges, you know, your pleasure-seeking urges. That's different. This is a higher cerebral feeling. It's intuition. It's your gut. It's your moral compass underneath, pointing you in the best direction for you, trying to get you on the right pattern to live the good life. That's what everyone's destiny could be. That's what the word destiny is for. The good path, right? So I'll leave you with that. Cheers to you and your adventures, my friend. I will talk to you soon.